So, coming here. Why? Because the last time of my work on seismic risks was mostly devoted to understand the urban risks. Urban, I mean, result of propagation of seismic energy, and also how the cities are designed and how fragile they are when you have flash floods sometimes attacking the urban organizations. So it means that recently, since some years, I am now playing with the other colleagues to model the effects on the urban areas. In Portugal, first of all, as I was telling, it was Lisbon area. Afterwards was the metropolitan area of Lisbon. And nowadays you are in the southern of Portugal. Probably you know Algarve is very known in the Algarve. You are now studying the seismic risks and tsunami and seismic risks in the Algarve. And I am studying the urban areas in order to inform the local governments how to proceed, to at least to be sure that if a big earthquake or tsunami will reach the coast, we are prepared to resist, to mitigate or reduce the impacts as a whole thing. So 50 years, more than 50 years work on geophysics is something special. Not many people are still working, coming and attending the meetings like this one. But I was very pleased because I was at least founding in many workshops my own ideas devoted to explain the seismic risk and the mitigation. I was pleased to check, even in the different latitudes. Okay, I was able just to applaud because my work was devoted to that, and many of my ideas have been taken by other colleagues. As it was yesterday discussed, the fundamental problem in our society is the vulnerability, in every sense, vulnerability of people, vulnerability to organization social, vulnerability of the exposed at the risks, everything. So it was a long work. And so I think that for you, it's different from the things probably people are speaking, but as an old guy working since 55 on geophysics and living the questions related to risks, I have my own experience, and I'm very pleased to be here because, as I was saying, it was fantastic to see now the young generations taking with very important courage, these difficulties that in the past, with another technology, very low-profile technology, you were inventing, the way to reach a point to serve the society in general and to mitigate the effects of these large events. The events, the impacts, well, we know have less, at least, description on the impacts, but the vulnerability must be, I insist, an important key point for reduction those risks and reduction in mitigating, these effects. Okay, now climate change is a must imposing, very important in society at our globe that is so different, so heterogeneous. I have some doubts how people could be in a position to adapt if the changes are occurring and they are playing in those countries important effects. So, but it's our world. We have different technologies available. You have the knowledge and the enormous amount of data for them to play in a sense different from my old times as a geophysicist. I think this is enough. It's speaking without intervening is sometimes difficult to continue to speak about different things. If we have questions, I can reply to our questions. If I have more questions, I thank you very much the opportunity you gave me just to explain my whole life devoted to geophysics. That's my whole life, I should say. I was a young fellow when I traveled to go to India, already involved in this international geophysical year. young guy, 24 years.